Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programas offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
รายการของเรามีให้หลายภาษาโปรดดู suprememastertv.com/schedule.
What the Nobel Peace Prize did was to draw me once again into the world of other human beings, outside the isolated area in which I lived, to restore a sense of reality to me. And what is more important, the Nobel Prize had drawn the attention of the world to the struggle for democracy and human rights in Burma. We were not going to be forgotten.
Her Excellency Aung San Suu Kyi, The Lady's Love for Freedom, Democracy and Peace, Part 2 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Vegan, the angels will befriend you.
Good day, gracious viewers, or Jakshikun in Altai, one of the official languages of the Altai Republic. My name is Irina. The simple living Altai people join you in thanking all spiritual masters, guides, and friends who teach and encourage us to be vegans, a compassionate way to live nobly and save lives. God bless you all. Welcome to our show. Her Excellency Aung San Suu Kyi, The Lady's Love of Freedom, Democracy and Peace, Part 2 of 2. Following last week's episode, we will continue to retrace the remarkable life of Aung San Suu Kyi. In July 1995, Aung San Suu Kyi was released from house arrest but with restrictions on travel. Being undeterred, 3 years later, she formed a representative committee and declared the NLD as Myanmar's legitimate ruling parliament. At about the same time, the Myanmar government repeatedly refused her husband, Dr. Michael Aris, a visa permitting him to visit her as another way to suppress her and pressure her into surrendering her ideals. The lady, with her iron-like resilience and determination, didn't back down, but remained aware of the risk of being denied entry back into Myanmar if she left. In the end, she was unable to be by her husband's side even when he was critically ill until his passing in 1999. In 2000, Aung San Suu Kyi was sent into house arrest after several attempts to leave the capital city to hold political meetings. In 2002, she was once again released from house arrest following successful negotiations with help from the UN Special Envoy to Myanmar, His Excellency Razali Ismail. She then traveled throughout Myanmar to meet with her supporters, and the size of the crowds she drew was enough to rebut any rumors that her support had waned due to the passage of time. On May 30, 2003, members of the Union Solidarity and Development Association, or USDA, political party attacked a convoy of National League for Democracy, or NLD, vehicles, including the one Aung San Suu Kyi was traveling in. Some believed it was a planned attack directed by elements of Myanmar's former military regime. Fortunately, with the help of her driver, she escaped. However, 70 less unfortunate NLD members and supporters lost their lives. Each year, many still remember and commemorate the tragic events of May 30th. Aung San Suu Kyi emphasizes that for the sake of stability and national reconciliation, she will not seek vengeance for the incident of which she was the main target. Following this event, she was again detained by the junta, but this time under even stricter rules. Inside her compound, her phone line was cut. She had no access to outside mail, and the NLD volunteers who had provided security for her were dismissed. Between 2003 and 2009, the international community noticeably increased pressure for her release. Then, in 2007, a series of protests broke out due to rising fuel prices. The protests were named the Saffron Revolution, as most of the protesters were monks in their robes. On September 22, 2007, they marched to where Suu Kyi was detained and chanted Metta Sutta, the Buddha's key discourse on loving kindness. In 2009, the United Nations declared her detention illegal, even under Myanmar's laws. Despite this constant pressure on the military government, Suu Kyi was still not released. A year later, Myanmar's first ever multi-party parliamentary election was scheduled to be held in November, just 6 days before Suu Kyi's scheduled release. It is widely speculated that various deliberate attempts were made by the government party to exclude Suu Kyi from the election. Eventually, the government party won in the November 7, 2010 election, but many allegations of voter fraud emerged. With a combination of the government easing restrictions and her meeting with prominent world leaders and figures such as the civilian president of Myanmar, Thailand's prime minister and the US Secretary of State at the time, Aung San Suu Kyi was subsequently allowed to run for office and won her seat in April 2012.
Don't be near a vegan person. You'll be infected with happiness and joy.
Righteous viewers, let's take a moment now to hear a brief message. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to our show featuring Myanmar's democracy icon, Her Excellency Aung San Suu Kyi. In November 2015, the NLD party won a landslide victory in Myanmar's first openly contested parliamentary election. Due to a previously enacted constitutional provision that prohibits a candidate from running for the presidency if his or her spouse or children are foreign nationals, Suu Kyi couldn't become president. As a result, the NLD selected her close confidant, Tin Kiao, as the party's candidate, and he served as the president beginning in March 2016. Suu Kyi, however, took on the newly created position of state councillor, equivalent to a prime minister. She also became the foreign minister and minister in the president's office. In the November 8, 2020 parliamentary elections, the NLD party again won a majority. However, the military and its aligned party, the Union Solidarity and Development Party, or USDP, claimed that electoral fraud had occurred, but their appeal to the Electoral Commission was dismissed. On February 1, 2021, just hours before the newly elected government was to hold its first session, the military seized power and detained Suu Kyi and key NLD leaders. Various charges against Suu Kyi are presently underway, and if she is found guilty of all charges, she could face over 100 years in prison. Facing enormous adversities in life, how does Her Excellency Aung San Suu Kyi overcome despair and maintain her spirit? Suu Kyi revealed in the following statement at the Harvard Kennedy School in September 2012.
So, if you want to keep up your strength when you're working towards something, I think you have to learn not to think of yourself as the center of the world. You are just one working towards a goal with others. And if you keep that in mind, you don't lose confidence in yourself because it is required of you to keep strong for the sake of others.
From her book titled Freedom from Fear and Other Writings, Suu Kyi expresses her beliefs that fear is the root of all societal divisions and hatred. When she received the Nobel Prize, she shared her insights on what it was like to be detained or under house arrest for almost 15 years. To some, this is also a window into seeing how a loving, peaceful woman lives under tyrannical oppression and political bullying. Her statements also include strong messages about freedom and hope.
Often, during my days of house arrest, it felt as though I were no longer a part of the real world. There was a house, which was my world. There was the world of others, who also were not free, but who were together in prison as a community. And there was the world of the free. Each one was a different planet, pursuing its own separate course in an indifferent universe. What the Nobel Peace Prize did was to draw me once again into the world of other human beings, outside the isolated area in which I lived, to restore a sense of reality to me. And what is more important, the Nobel Prize had drawn the attention of the world to the struggle for democracy and human rights in Burma. We were not going to be forgotten.
Her Excellency Aung San Suu Kyi continues to guide her people along the peaceful road toward democracy. Moreover, her simple but strong words, "Use your freedom to promote ours," inspired renowned director Luc Besson to make a biographical film about Suu Kyi entitled The Lady. Today, Her Excellency Aung San Suu Kyi remains perhaps the most potent icon of hope and freedom in Myanmar. We pray that you are protected by Buddha and your vision of a democratic, peaceful and prosperous Myanmar will soon be realized.
Those who are vegan cleanse the body and mind, cleanse away evil. Taoism Sutra, Taoism.
Open-minded viewers, it's been a pleasure having your company today during Her Excellency Aung San Suu Kyi, the Lady's Love of Freedom, Democracy and Peace, Part 2 of 2. Coming up next is Protecting Eyes from Digital Eye Strain, right after noteworthy news here on Supreme Master Television. May all beings soon reach their true home to experience real love and freedom.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/MOS.